Yeah.
Is this still your normally set up as you use now these days?
Is this my normal setup? It's pretty much my normal setup, only I normally don't use a 12 by 14. I use either a 10 by 14 or a 9 by 13. But I use 26, 16, 18. I either use, these are the new Legacies. I think they sound great. How do they sound out there?
Great.
Pretty good, right? Not even mic, just big and loud and open the way God intended it. But pretty much, the cymbal setup this is the basic cymbal setup I use. I use slightly different chinas, but they weren't available. And I use a few more cymbals here, and a gong. But this is the basic kit.
And then, for a long time ago, I remember you would use double bass. So two bass drums as well.
One more time?
In the old days, you were using the two bass drums.
In the old days, yes. Back in the 20s, I used the double bass kit, you know, when I was touring with Moses. It was a good tour. He didn't pay well, but hopefully I'll get into heaven. I don't know. But yeah, I used to use double bass and, you know, two toms. The thing is, I always loved playing a single kit. I loved that, you know, the hi-hat was right here and the ride cymbal was here, and I always loved that, but I also wanted to, you know, play double bass. So back then you couldn't do that. You had to either, you know, have a double bass kit or play single bass. So I definitely wanted the double bass sound, but now with the invention of the double pedal, it seems very natural for me to just be playing on a single kit, you know. Also, a lot of times when you're flying all over and trying to get kits available for shows, if, you know, one day I'm in Greece, the next day I'm in the Netherlands, you know, it's very hard. It wouldn't be so hard here because you got Drumland, which is great, and they have everything. But try to get a double bass kit in the right sizes where the colors are the same, and it's very difficult. So switching to the single bass kit was easier for me to get rental gear or loaning gear from Ludwig, and also I really like the hi-hat being here. I don't really like it being further out, and also for recording, I would do records or sessions, and I would just use the double bass maybe in one little spot, you know, and then you hear the mix. You know, you're not there a lot of times when they're mixing, and you don't hear the second bass drum because they forgot to put it in. It happens. I'm sure it happens to some of you guys out there, but with the double pedal, they can't mess it up because it's all on the same drum. You know, so for that reason alone, it's really good. Also, I think, did anybody ever play a single stroke roll on two drums? It's always easier on one, and I think it's the same with the double pedal. I feel a little more articulate on one bass drum. Cool. Anybody else?
I read some interviews with guys who play double bass drum and use two bass drums, especially in the studio, and tune them differently a little bit. I just read an article in Sound Magazine. Doesn't that come into the equation?
Good question. The tuning differently thing. Well, I usually want it to sound as close as possible, you know, but one thing I notice, like with my pedals on my bass drums, they don't sound the same. Like this.
Yeah.
The left one sounds a little higher to me. Yeah, because the way these pedals are set up, the right one is in the center, and the left one is a little further to the edge, you know? So I think further to the edge. Sound different out there? A little different. You know, I don't really want it to sound like beep, 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 you know, but I think the advantages, a double bass is louder. You know, the guys in my band say, go back to the big double bass kit, it looks cool. You know, and I think it looks cool if it sounds cool, you know, personally. And I'm a little more comfortable with the one bass drum.
And another question from me. So
Yeah, man.
What's in the bass drum? What do you have? Pillows or just nothing? Or
What do I have in the bass drum? I have some cheese sandwiches from Tony's shop. We played at a drum shop yesterday. That was great. And it used to be a cheese shop, so we have some cheese here. Actually, in the bass drum, that's a great question because I don't put anything in the bass drum. I have a felt on the front and a felt on the back, and that's it.
Same
you
kind
know.
of head on the front?
Excuse me?
Same kind of head, same kind of skin on the...
No, on the front head I have just an attack smooth one ply, and on the back I usually use an attack no overtone, but we couldn't get one, so I have a Ludwig, like no overtone, you know, with the little internal ring, you know, which is very similar to what I normally use. So I have a felt on the back going this way, and a felt on the front going this way. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I like the way the felt looks in the front going on the side, and I like that in the back. But yeah, there's nothing in the drums. Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay. Another guy that didn't want to hit me, that I never met actually, but I really wanted to, was John Bonham. We have any John Bonham fans out there? Yeah. The first time I saw Bonham, he was. I didn't even know who Led Zeppelin was. I went to see Iron Butterfly at the Fillmore East in New York. You know, the band that did In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, you know that one? And to me, I was like 13, and my father brought me and my brother, and I went to hear the, you know, to me, man, that was like the coolest thing I ever heard, you know? But the move, which then became ELO, was supposed to open for Iron Butterfly. And Bill Graham came out and said, the move canceled, but we have this new band from England called Led Zeppelin. And I thought it was a country band or something. I don't know, Lead Belly, Led Zeppelin, I didn't know what it was, you know what I mean? But after a few minutes, you know, kind of changed my life. You know, Bonham was just inspiring, ridiculous, playing stuff I never heard. You know, so the next day I went out and I got the record, big thing, big black thing, a record. You know, I said to my granddaughter, you know, we were in the car and a song I played on came on the radio, and I said, I played on that record, honey. She goes, Papa, what's a record? I go, it's kind of like a CD, only bigger. You know, oh, okay. You know. I also play it like this. I try to get it with right, left, or left, or double left. Right. Then I use the groove. When I learn something, I try to learn it as a fill. I try to do it simply, then I try to orchestrate it different ways around the kit. The other thing that I got from Bonham, I think a lot of people got from Bonham, was triplets, you know, around the kit. Right, left, if you start somewhere, wherever you end, most important thing I left out, I'm sorry, is the left hand. Taking the left hand out of the triplets opens up everything. You get so much more possibilities by either leaving the left hand out, putting it in, or putting it on top of the right hand. So the basic triplet pattern. And then, when you start where you end, here, I'll go one way for a while, then I'll switch it. Another thing, still with the triplet, which opens up even more possibilities. And I try to do this with most things I learn. Do them as many ways as you can so you get a lot of mileage. Also for students, do we have a lot of students here? Guys that are studying or teachers? You know, it makes it fun for the students. It motivates them. You show them different ways to do the same pattern, so you know, you learn one pattern 10 ways now, or two patterns 10 ways now. You got multiple patterns. This other way is just alternating the triplet. So it's right, left foot, then left. I'll go one way and then I'll alternate. Where you can put like double stroke rolls inside, you know, those big triplets, right? So